Добрый день, друзья!
Hello, dear friends!
Полезный
A healthy diet can only be one that, firstly, does not harm our health, and secondly, contains the macro and micronutrients necessary for the human body. This can be summarized in the following points. Food should be free of substances harmful to our body, both natural and anthropological, that is, caused by human activity. Food should contain sufficient amount of its own digestive enzymes to minimize stress on the human body's enzyme system, one of the foundations of our health. The amount of food consumed should not exceed individually calculated volumes and calories. Food should contain proteins, essential amino acids, essential fats, carbohydrates, vitamins and minerals, as well as substances necessary for the complete nutrition of the intestinal microbiota. By following the principles of Base Healthy Diet menu, the task of achieving these and other factors that make our diet beneficial can be greatly simplified. In accordance with the menu of the Base Healthy Diet, for breakfast on Saturday we will prepare a hot dish with vegetables and cottage cheese. As usual, heat the spice mixes in a dry frying pan and pour in refined, cold-pressed vegetable oil. Press the cooked vegetables of the second base mixture in the frying pan. Pour in a little water or herbal tea from time to time. This will prevent the temperature on the surface of the pan from rising above 100 degrees. To make enzyme sauce, use fermented vegetables, aromatic herbs, lemon, cottage cheese, unrefined cold-pressed vegetable oil, herbal tea, or other liquid, and spices to your taste. Pour the sauce onto a plate, place the hot vegetables from the frying pan on top, then add the cottage cheese and the raw vegetables from the first base mixture. For lunch, we prepare a vegetable dish with walnuts that have been soaked and left to ferment for 3 days to remove harmful substances. They were then dried, stored in the fridge, and soaked again in the evening. Keeping them in the fridge prevents the oil in the nuts from oxidizing too quickly. Heat the spices in a frying pan, pour in the refined cold-pressed vegetable oil, add the cooked vegetables of the second base mixture, and pour in the liquid. The enzyme mixture will be made up of fermented vegetables, aromatic herbs, lemon, nuts, and herbal tea that has been crushed in a blender. Now place the hot vegetables on a plate, cover with the nut mixture and the raw vegetables from the first base mixture. For dinner, we cook spaghetti with vegetables. To make spaghetti, the dough is pressed in a screw chamber at a pressure of 100–140 atmospheres, which destroys most of the lectins and other harmful substances in the flour. The spaghetti was then soured in a water solution of rice soda starter for over a day and cooked in a pressure cooker at high temperature and pressure to deactivate the remaining harmful substances. The cooked spaghetti was stored in a refrigerator, so the starch it contained became resistant to digestion in the gastrointestinal tract. As we have already seen, resistant starch does not cause a spike in plasma glucose levels and is an excellent source of nutrition for the microbiota in the intestine. Before dinner, heat turmeric-based spices in a dry frying pan. Add clarified butter, a mixture of non-starchy cooked second-base vegetables, and pour in some liquid. For the fermented sauce, we take the fermented vegetables, lemon, aromatic herbs, clarified butter, little spaghetti, other ingredients according to your taste, herbal tea, and we blend it all with a blender. On a plate, layer the hot vegetables from the pan, the cold spaghetti, enzyme sauce, and raw vegetables of the first vegetable mix. So, based on the Base Health and Diet menu, we have prepared breakfast, lunch, and dinner for Saturday. You can also see here a fruit dish which needs to be eaten at least half an hour for lunch or dinner. Salads from the first base mix of raw vegetables are supplemented with bell peppers, cucumbers, and tomatoes. In the final part of our lesson, I would like to remind you of the basic requirements for preparing healthy food. The food used must be free of the most harmful substances. Number 2. Fats cleaned of flammable substances were used in the heat treatment process. A liquid was added to the pan, which when it boiled prevented the temperature from rising above 100 degrees, thus preventing the formation of harmful substances. Number 3. An enzyme mass was added to each dish to facilitate the digestion of food without overloading the body's enzyme production system. Number 4. To avoid overnutrition or malnutrition, the amount of essential nutrients has been calculated on an individual basis, taking into account an appropriate caloric deficit due to the evolutionary development of the human body. Number 5. The supply of the organism and the intestinal microflora with all the nutritional substances was achieved, in particular by a variety of foods. To this end, the base healthy diet menu provides for the consumption of 7 types of animal protein and 6 types of vegetable protein, up to 18 types of carbohydrates foods, more than 7 types of fatty foods, more than 25 different types of fruit and vegetables. As you can see with the base healthy diet menu, you can prepare very healthy food and use it to normalize your health in any life situation. I thank you for your attention and invite you to the last lesson on the base healthy diet menu, dedicated to its implementation on Sunday.